this is Leah Jones, and you are listening to the Three Geeks podcast.
Everybody, welcome to a Three Geeks and PVD joint collaboration. We are here with Bill and Brent Rock. Bill Foster, how you doing today?
Doing great, y'all.
Couldn't be any better right now. I had a nice nap after work. It felt really good.
Sometimes you take those naps, you wake up worse than you were before you fell asleep.
That's true. You got to get that right balance of time.
That's
right.
You
can go too long and you go too short.
That's right.
But how you guys doing today?
Oh, awesome. Sitting here on the back porch of a friend's cabin overlooking the hill country and getting ready to start filming pre-production tomorrow. And then Friday we kick it off again.
Okay. Did you have to take a pause because of the coronavirus and COVID, I presume, like everyone else?
We had this scheduled back in July, and they canceled us. And so we just now got to where we can come back. And just the COVID stuff alone is costing me out to just for this one weekend. We had to hire a person just to be the COVID officer. And I bet there's no telling what we spent on just cleaning supplies. And we've got to have all this done. So she inspects as we go. But that's the rules we got to follow. And we're going to follow them so we can film.
Yeah. And you're probably not the only one that's in that scenario. I imagine I haven't heard too much about, different film projects are being filmed, but I imagine that's the standard protocols. They got to have somebody making sure everything's being followed.
Yes, sir. And then here in Blanco County, our limitations, we can't have over 100 on the set, and then we got to follow all the state guidelines too. So we're bouncing at 100 every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're having to really watch our numbers and then watch the COVID stuff too. Keep our distance. I mean, I've got a whole page of stuff I sent out to the actors today.
Oh man. Well, let's talk a little bit about your film, Showdown on the Brazos. You want to let the listeners and the watchers know what the film's about?
You bet. It's a Western based in 1887. Brent here plays the notorious outlaw Nate Jones, and we are deadly enemies. He just hates law enforcement in general, leaves me for dead at the very beginning of the movie, and so I don't want to go back into being a Texas Ranger because I play a Texas Ranger and my partner, and he finally talks me back being a Texas Ranger because I find out I get to go after Brent, and this time justice and vengeance is riding the same horse.
All right. Brent, can I ask, what's your inspiration for your portrayal of Nate Jones?
That's first I have to thank Bill Foster. I was lucky enough as an actor. Sometimes it's such a privilege to have a part written for you. No audition process, just a matter of, hey, you're going to be this guy. So I do have to give kudos to Bill on giving me the opportunity to play such a bad guy, but a classy bad guy, a politician bad guy with a gun.
There you
go. My portrayal is a lot. I've grown up in the Western genre. My first acting and such was at Old Tucson Studios when I was 18 years old. Hats off to all the viewers. They just closed down indefinitely because of the COVID. And it's the industry in general is tough for everybody filming any type of project. But we're lucky enough to be able to finally do this. It's been a long time coming. We started this a year and a half ago?
Yes, January of 19, I believe.
Yeah, and it's been a great journey. I enjoy playing the bad guy. I don't want to talk too much, but Nate Jones is not just the bad guy. He's got a slick tongue and a little savvy to him, and he's not that bad of a guy. If you hurt or kill a horse, you're in big trouble with Nate Jones.
I made him very complicated.
Yeah.
There is some different sides of him that he really has to work on because he never wants to see anybody see him get mad. And so he's always cool and collective. And we're going to change that this weekend. And then just for a split second, but like he says, you can kill all the people you want, but just don't hurt the horses.
I've got all my I'm almost off book. I just got just to prove to you, all blocked out and marked. Just got the final revision printed out today. So that's when Bill called and said he was in town. I said, "What are you doing?" And one of the lines is, "Any last words?" And he didn't know what I said. I said, "Well, I'm going to do the script."
I was kind of in a panic.
but that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of days is getting off book so we can really make this a really nice Western. I'm looking forward to playing the bad guy.
Hey, so Bill, what made you want to get into this business? Not just as an actor, but you're writing, directing, and doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I started writing before I retired, and then had my first novel published right after I retired from school superintendency. And I'd written a screenplay. It's very short, and that's what this has turned out to be. It started out, 10 pages, and now it's 120. But just being on a lot of shows that I thought, hey, I could do this because they're doing a really good job and use them as a mentor. And then there's some I was on that wasn't doing such a good job. I think, man, if I ever get to make a movie, I'm not going to do it that way. And so just found the combination of it all, and it just really it has evolved. And then I've just fell in love with it. It started out with 4 actors, and then all of a sudden we're going to hit over 300 actors this weekend.
Wow.
So Bill, what's your background in filmmaking, if I may ask? I mean,
Sure.
is it kind of a little more? Are you one of those kind of directors that kind of learn DIY, or did you take some classes?
No,
did you go to college for it, or?
Now I did take an online class watching Richie Cunningham. That's what I know him as, But I watched him and learned a lot from that. But getting to work with like the Coen brothers as an extra on their set, watching them trying to learn from them. And it was, other than that's been DIY, but I just, you have a vision, and being a teacher and all that, you try to be super organized when you got on set and just try to put the best foot forward. And it's really seemed to work so far.
Cool. Excellent. So you lean towards Westerns, Bill?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can I ask?
I've got some ideas and some outlines of some that are not Westerns, but I love the Western genre, and you get a good Western movie, everybody loves it.
Didn't you get to play kind of a cowboy type character on the Fear the Walking Dead?
No, on the Sun.
On the Sun.
On the Sun.
Okay.
You got to play a bad guy,
Yeah.
real bad guy on the Sun, and got to work with Pierce Brosnan on that. And then Fear the Walking Dead was a stretch for me because I'd been doing Westerns. All of a sudden now I'm playing a vulture, which is trying to overthrow the main crew, and then they changed me into a zombie after I got killed. So that was kind of a stretch for me, and that's what I told Brent. I said on my next movie I'm gonna have him in it, but he's not gonna be an outlaw. We're gonna work something where he's got to really stretch his acting abilities and do something totally different.
What was it like getting made up to be a zombie?
Oh, it was cool. One day we're in the trailer getting made up, and when we stepped out, we look over the ledge. We're in downtown Austin. There's a daycare center right over the ledge of the parking lot. And the parents would get their kids out of the car and look up at us and duck their kids under and run them into the school and come out, It would take probably longer to clean up than it would actually put the makeup on, because they put a lot on it with just spray guns. And then we would then wash for hours. When they say wrap, you just start washing and you wash, because they won't let you leave with makeup on. They don't want to see a zombie driving down the street in Austin, even though you'd fit in Austin.
Yes, I've never been to Texas, but I've heard.
That was good. That was good.
I was gonna say I've never been to Texas, but I've heard Austin's its own unique place, man.
Keep it weird.
Keep it weird is the city motto.
Yeah, that's right. And they do a good job.
Yeah, they do. Over and above.
Do you have a favorite Western, or maybe 2 or 3, you two?
My favorite's The Searchers, the old John Wayne. What about you, Brent?
The Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Okay.
And they're remaking the Cowboys, so it's be leaked to see that.
And I want to be the one, if we're on podcast, remakes are great, and some of them are sometimes very, very, very slim chance, especially with the Westerns nowadays, a remake is better than the original if you enjoy original Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the remakes is to tone it and change it for a newer viewing audience to keep the genre alive. But I truly know a lot of young people that will, I have some nephews that are in their 20s, and I've not made them, but I've said, have you ever seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly all the way through? And they're like, man, what are you talking about? What? And by the time it's over, they're making more popcorn and saying, pause that, stop it. I want to finish it. So I see the need for the remakes, but the Cowboys is going to be a tough remake for me to watch. Yes, I will once it will stream live, but I'm not going to buy movie tickets to go watch it.
I thought the same thing on True Grit when the Coens remade it.
True Grit,
but it was like two different movies. I loved it.
It truly was, but the young actress carried the whole movie.
She did
in the remake of True Grit. She carried the whole movie, and hats off to her as an actor. But other than that, I stick to the originals so much that it was a different time and a place back then when you went to the movies. The heroes were different. There wasn't so much of a dark side and a biased towards certain things. It was the code of the West back in the day. And hang 'em high.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we're Bill's trying to do with his films is bring that True Grit Western back to life. The bad guys are the bad guys, the good guys are the good guys, but sometimes you don't always have to hate the bad guys.
But you will after this movie. Like Walt Disney says, the good guy's only as bad as the bad guy. So, but he's right on. I did try to write this in the old John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, 1950s era type movie, like he's talking about, and so, he's. The other two movies I love as the movie is the new Tombstone, and then of course Lonesome Dove is Lonesome Dove, and I don't consider Lonesome Dove a movie. That was a TV series, but by gosh, that's the chemistry on that will never be repeated. I mean, I don't care how many movies you do, the chemistry on that will never be repeated. That was an amazing TV series.
You mentioned Jimmy Stewart, and I just recently found a Western with Jimmy Stewart that I thoroughly enjoyed. Never knew it existed. The Cheyenne Social Club.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is one of his best.
That is
awesome because that is a really kind of true gritty Western with that great comedy leverage to it.
Yes.
And there's some moments I don't want to give anything up because Bill will, shoot me quicker off and kill me quicker in the storyline if I give any hints. But there are some really good comedy moments with some comedic levity, not over the top, no slapstick crazy, but some stuff that gives I would say a little levity to the movie because it is pretty serious and gritty and it's
need to laugh every now and then.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciated most about it, to be very honest, Brent and Bill. It wasn't just all the seriousness that had those moments, especially when you're dealing with Shirley Jones and her character and the cast of the ladies. You're right. It broke it up a little bit where you're like, okay, that was funny. And then you got back to the action. It was very well done.
Who the producer of that movie was?
You asked me too quickly.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay. And he built the city out in New Mexico, and we may film there next year. Gene Kelly.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
really?
That's right.
In later years, he paid, and the deal he made with the Ives Ranch was, I will build this on your land for free, but you can have it afterwards. You're not going to charge me for your land, but you can have the city afterwards. And so they've turned it in. That's where Ballad of Buster Scruggs, part of it was filmed, and we look to film our next movie in New Mexico, and so we're going to go out there in October and maybe look around out there and see if we can't get some deals start to get done.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So another question, Bill, real quick. I'm just going to kind of deviate to another project that I researched. You have another project called Ive Got Your Six that is in production, or is it still in pre-production?
It's just finished. I mean, we just finished. I entered it in several film festivals and not before last, and so I'm really looking forward to that. It's in one film festival already out in Arizona, and it's nominated 5 different nominations for best modern day Western short, best supporting actor, best song, and best director. So, and we used all military veterans. And I started out, I had this in my mind as an essay, but I turned it into a screenplay, and I had to have the right people to play it. And man, the two guys, they pulled it off. And like I said, everybody in front of the camera is a military veteran. It's about a World War II veteran who's in the nursing home, and he sees in the paper they're fixing to build a shopping center where his old farm used to be, but the paper called it worthless land. And so he wants to go out there and tell somebody it's not worthless, because monetarily it may be, but what it meant to him as a family growing up on this farm, it was priceless. And so he's escaped from the nursing home, and the deputy who finds him is an Iraq war veteran, and they build a bond throughout the movie. It's 18 and a half minutes long. But I don't know about there, but in Texas, it's on your phone now. But used to, everybody had a police scanner, and you could listen to the police talk on the scanners all the time. Well, they hear the captain, who's not a military veteran, telling the deputy, "You just bring him in right now. Forget it. You bring him in." Well, they get this fight on the radio, and all these veterans hear it, and so they all come to the aid of the old man. And so it's a really inspirational, emotional type movie.
You know, springboarding off that question and off to that description, what do you think is maybe one of the biggest hurdles for ex-military when they come back to stateside?
Acclimating.
Okay.
Because everything's so rigid, especially if they've been in a war situation. But even if they haven't been, everything is so regimented. And they've told me this. You know, they're told when they get up, they got to report to this, this, and this. And then all of a sudden, when they come home, it's kind of boring. I mean, you know, it's not regimented. There's no action. My nephew, he was in Afghanistan. That's what he said. He came home and it's quiet. You know, it's all of a sudden you're not scared. Not worried about your next move, and it's really an adjustment. And we had a counselor on site just in case when she was needed, and she did talk to a few, and a lot of them had not been around other military veterans since they got out of the branch of military. And so we had 80 veterans there that day. And just being around that many veterans, it really started triggering some emotions from these men. And they were so proud to do the movie. And I can't thank them enough. We had motorcycle guys, the real ones, not your doctors out of Fort Worth riding a motorcycle. We had the real dudes, tattoos and, everything. And then had the cowboys also. It had, all different walks of life. And that's what I wanted. And so it really meshed those 2 days. I don't know how we did it, but it just meshed so well. I'm sorry, I keep getting these texts in, but turned out really well.
Awesome. What are the plans for I've Got Your Six after it's done the film circuit? Are you looking to maybe go broader with your distribution?
I'd love to expand it, but into a full movie. It could be easily done there. But my lawyer is pitching it right now. We're fixing it, or she's setting up some meetings with distribution so we could pitch it. And, used to you couldn't really sell shorts, but right now Hollywood is so hungry for anything new. They're starting to buy shorts. And so we're going to pitch not only I've Got Your Six, but Showdown on the Brazos at the same time. And I've got some more in screenplay. We're going, while we're there, just happen to mention maybe.
Just slide it across the table, right? Very nonchalantly.
I just happen to have a screenplay. I've got a Hallmark written movie. It's an old Western, Christmas in the Rockies. And I Heard the Quail Whistle, which is a major feature movie that we're hoping to do next spring if COVID ever lifts.
I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah, my son challenged me on that one. And so I went in and wrote it in a week's time, and I sent it to him to read it. How'd you already write 30 pages? And I was like, I just sat down a couple of nights and wrote it, So when it flows, it flows. And, and the thing about this one is it's not enough as far as be a feature, but there's going to be so much scenery involved in it that you can't put that in the script. And so that will make the movie last a lot longer. So we're looking at a sure hour, if not a little bit longer on this one.
Okay.
I can guarantee that there's no one like this guy that loves Hallmark movies. Hallmark Christmas movies is his game. God bless you, man, but I don't see it. I'm sorry, Jason.
My son really wanted to do a modern day Western, but I like the old fashioned. So it's based in the Rockies, and right before Christmas, a blizzard comes in, and the cowhands are out trying to find cattle, and so they're trapped, and they don't know if they're dead or alive, and so they just keep praying for that Christmas miracle.
Gonna be a cold set.
Yeah. And if we get the funding, I told
lots of long johns.
yeah, I told my first AD, I said, we may be able to knock this thing out January, February if we get the funding while there's still snow on the ground. We don't have to make any. So,
from what I just saw on the news, it's snowing right now in Denver.
yeah, my son.
Yeah, they got their first snow in Colorado. I lived there for quite a few years in Leadville, in the Vail Valley and such. But yeah, they got their first snowfall. So I will truly be happy to say I'm in Texas right now. It's a beautiful, probably 72, 73 degrees, sitting here in the hill country, and I will take it.
You bet.
I'll take it.
It's beautiful. But yeah, my son lives in Denver, and he sent me a video of it snowing today. So epic snowstorm is what they're calling it. I mean, not in depth, but just this early in the year.
Yeah. Well, my final question I have for both of you is, obviously, when you're making a Western, you want to make sure that you have everything historically correct in terms of wardrobe and everything.
Thank you for asking that. Thank you.
Yeah,
that is the best question that anyone ever asks about a Western film, and I'm truly glad. So,
yes. How much work is that? I imagine that's got to be a huge undertaking.
And money too.
A lot of that because a lot of the, we'll say, historically correct, we'll say props, saddles, wardrobe, hats, boots, spurs, guns, holsters. It can really, up your budget costs so much. We're very lucky to have a great abundance of what we refer to as working background or working actors that can provide their own Western wardrobe, period correct, gun belt, firearms, and such. Most of the time for gun safety, most of the actors are walking with prop guns that are not non-firing weapons, just for set safety. But we do rely on a lot of those gentlemen that not only look the part, can play the part, but they have all the stuff to kind of bring it together. And that's what these independent Western films are so great about, is bringing those people together.
Yeah, we have in this shot this weekend probably 15 or 20 people that we've had to dress, and you should have seen our living room this last week. We've got costumes laying everywhere, buying them everywhere we can find them, and trying to swing deals and going to garage sales and converting modern clothes into old clothes. And I had hats soaking into horse troughs, trying to make them look old and ratty looking. And yeah, it's and last thing you want is a modern piece of something to show up on the set like this, where it's a modern day hat, like I'm wearing now, where it's got the sweat holes in the side. I have seen some Westerns where they do walk on set and they've got a brand new Stetson straw hat, and I'm just like, blew the whole movie.
Yeah,
you can't watch
it
ruins it. But you've got the ones out there that watch the guns, making sure they're at period accurate, because that's all they're watching for.
Oh, yes.
Some watching, he mentioned the saddles. Some just watching, we got an argument on my holster because it's a Bandolero holster, which came in about 5 years after 1887. But who knows if it wasn't there beforehand. Finally, I just told everybody they were giving me a hard time. It was all joking in good times. But I said, okay, if Jimmy Stewart can wear it and bend to the river, I can wear it in my movie. And besides that, I'm the director, so I can do anything I want to. So and I tried some other holsters. They just didn't feel good because I wore this holster a long time. And so I figured, who knows at that 5 year span, if it was there or not. So those little things, some will catch, but it's so, some are getting that detail. Oh, you're 2 years off here or there. As long as you're within the 10-year frame, you're good.
And I truly believe if the talent brings it to the audience, those are minor details in the equation of a film.
Mm-hmm.
It really comes down to the performances, the acting, and the cast is kind of second to the crew. I will say that, because if it weren't for the cameramen, the DPs, all of that, production assistants, the grips, and that it's nothing would happen.
Yeah.
So Bill and I, now this one I just get to play the actor. So I get to sit back and just have fun and be somebody else for a while. I've been on the other side of the fence where Bill is. I've never directed and produced and written. So he's doing the trifold thing. I mean, he's trifecting it the whole way. So his job is a lot more complicated. I get to, like I said, be a bad guy and go home, and Bill still has to stay up all night and watch all the dailies, and we got to go back and get this, and the lighting was terrible over there. So I love excuse me my part in this, but you do have to take your hats off to a guy that gets out and does it. It is I hope this doesn't offend you, but it's guerrilla filmmaking at its finest.
There you go.
I have worked with a lot of other production crews on other films as an actor, a wrangler, and doing the trifecta, so to speak, in different ways. And it's a hard job, and I truly believe he deserves a credit for bringing us all together. Honestly,
it's really turned out so much more than I expected. I had a black beard to start off the movie. No, just joking.
that was number 5 just for men.
Oh, yeah. I did paint my beard one day for a flashback scene, and nobody knew who I was. They'd walk in and thought I was a new actor or something, Till I talked.
Bill, Brent,
if I could say one more thing, I will say Bill does bring such professionalism, and so did the rest of the cast of the crew. This has been a stretched out project.
Yeah.
As far as time frame, we started this
January 19.
January 19.
Filming. Now it started lockdown before that. Yes. But yeah, January 19.
And it needs to be completed and presented. And I'm.
This one goes straight to the editor. Yeah. We're not. Y'all see the dailies, but it goes straight to. I've got a whole different editor now, and they'll put it all on the hard drive this weekend, and he'll take it and run with it. Yeah. And so we've got a lot more. I've learned a lot, but we've got a lot more on staff this time than what we've had in the past. And we were rolling fast. I mean, we were getting knocked out, and all of a sudden had a few setbacks, and then a few more setbacks, and then COVID hit, so it's really knocked this thing out. We thought we had it finished, and I hired a new editor to go through it, and we decided, and that's what we're shooting this weekend. We're going to reshoot some scenes, and plus I went back and wrote some new scenes because we just felt like there were some holes in it that we had one ready for TV, but we wanted to make it cinema, and so I went back and wrote some scenes to make it. And this weekend's going to be huge. We're going to have 75 actors there Saturday and Sunday and Friday afternoon filming, and so. It's going to be big. He's trying to help me.
A lot of work here, guys. But no, honestly, like I said, it's been a pleasure to work with Bill, and
he does a great job.
Looking forward to being the bad guy on Friday. I tell you, I can't wait to. I can't spoil anything. I can't wait to do some evil bads.
Yeah.
Where can folks find out about the film and whatnot? Do you have like a website or social media or anything?
You can always go to my Facebook page. We do have a Facebook page just for Showdown on the Brazos. Check out our YouTube trailer. It's an award-winning trailer on YouTube. Like I said, Showdown on the Brazos. Watch that. And we're building a web page, but those are the main places that you can check us out. Or go to my IMDb page and check me out there.
Cool.
Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a blast talking to you.
Thank you so much. Guys. Appreciate it. You have a great day.
Yeah, you as well.
Guys.
Bye.
All right. Be safe. Ride hard, guys.